Of the session in Hartford. Meet the Leaders is there, and you're going to hear what goes on there in just a moment. Hi there, welcome to Meet the Leaders. I'm David Smith, and the last few days of the session are always interesting, that is for sure. You at home are wondering what does go on here? Well, everything kind of comes together in a big crunch in the last few days. And here to kind of explain that crunch a little bit is Representative Livvy Floren of Greenwich and Stamford. And it's always good to see you, Livvy. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's good to be here.
Because this is the time when everything that's been on hold or been worked on or both over the last several months really does come down to the last couple of days, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, and it can go 24/7 until midnight on Wednesday when we do have CNADA.
Well,
so there is light at the end of this tunnel.
Yeah, there is an ending that comes, but to get to that point is rarely comfortable.
I know. Everybody's bill wants to get on there, and there's horse trading and this and that, yeah.
Well, as we were talking prior to this, you've had a number of interests going into this that you're pretty happy with in getting through.
I was really fortunate. The bills about which I cared the most came out of the chute early and have been passed, so that was great. One was a tree trimming bill. I felt very strongly that the utility had to prove that they were going to take down healthy trees, that they were in the way of the right-of-way of the lines. So that got us. It's not burdensome, but it does put the emphasis on the people that have the chainsaw. So that was good. And the other was a concussion bill. You know, we've had too many youth concussions, and now this bill that passed is, if there is even probable reason to think that an injury on the field was concussible, you may not go back to play until a medical doctor has seen you.
Well, we have learned so much about concussions and focused on it in the last 3, 4, 5 years.
Absolutely.
So it's really changed the way everybody's looking at this situation.
And cumulative. We didn't know that, how badly it was. And it goes forward, and it's almost like skin cancer. I mean, you can get it from a bad fall when you're a baby, or a bad sunburn when you're very young,
right.
And then you're 40 years old, and your brain goes and your skin is wrinkled.
You have always had a focus on the bonding situation that the state has, and where do we stand in bonding at this point in time?
Well, this is just the tweak to the bond bill that we passed last session, because it's a biennial thing. So what we found out from that, we had buckets of money, and within those buckets, they've had great interest and great needs. The one that comes to mind right off the bat is the nonprofit pool of money. We had put in $20 million, and this was a bill that any nonprofit organization in any community could apply for a grant. We had more than 150 applications. We had a room full of applications.
For $20 million.
For $20 million. They granted that cycle. The $20 million was granted. But as Secretary Barnes of Office of Policy and Management said, we felt that there were a gazillion wonderful applications still in the hopper. So we've added another 30 million. So the pool will be 50 million going forward. Every application that was made in the first go-round will be considered, and then we'll open it up and take even additional new applications for the 30 million.
So some of them so time will be continued for the application for this money. Mm-hmm. But now there's 50 million instead of 20 million.
Mm-hmm. For the second round, and we hope to keep it at 50 million.
Well, that should be a big help.
It's wonderful, and really the needs that came forward were astounding, and the professionalism of the grants. So I'm just so proud of the way it was handled and the way it will be handled going forward. And we had a suggestion from one of my constituents to help OPM in judging the grants, is to have volunteers. You know, all of our United Ways have grant determination volunteers that have been trained, and we offered to have some of them come and help OPM, and I think Secretary Barnes was very open to that.
That's the Office of Policy and Management that we're talking about here. So is that in fact going to happen? Is that the way?
I think it will. I think they're going to try to do it on staff this first go around, and then we'll refine it. We'll have a better handle on it after we've had 2 grant cycles.
Well, now, we had talked prior to this 6 months ago, and you were basically suggesting that you were packing it in after a good number of years here. We don't have to go into numbers, but you have changed your mind about that. You are going to seek re-election in November.
I'm going to seek re-election. I hope to win. I'm in it to win it, as they say, and I love this job. I think public service is such a privilege, and I hope to be able to stay and see you again.
Well, we'll see how it works out in November, but we'll look forward to a date. But in any case, thanks so much, and good luck over the next several days, because you are going to be another busy legislator, that is for sure. Livvy Floren, our guest on this edition of Meet the Leaders from Hartford in the last couple of days. Some of the activity that'll be going on into the wee small hours of tonight and tomorrow night. We've got more coming up for you on Meet the Leaders from Hartford in just a moment.